Hello, the students of class 9 and 10. You all are welcome to Mymensingh Online School again. I am Mohammad Rajul Karim, assistant teacher, Mymensingh Jila School. I am here to present a wonderful class just for the students of class 9 and 10. Today, I'll discuss a very important topic of class 9 and 10. That is unseen passage. The students of class 9 and 10 may not find an unseen passage in his question paper. And here he will also find two questions. One is information transfer. One is information transfer and another is summarizing or summary. Summary. Here, from an unseen passage, a student of class 9 or 10 have to answer information transfer and summary. Here, a student will find information transfer is for 5 marks. Information transfer is for 5 marks and summary or summarization is for 10 marks. That is why from unseen passage you have to answer for 15 marks. Clear? And to ensure these 15 marks or 80 or 90% marks from that 15 marks, we have to follow some tactics and we have to follow some rules. How can we get these 15 marks, or how can we get 13 or 15 from this 13 or 14 from this 15 marks? That is why please follow my lecture. Number 1, information transfer. Number 1, information transfer. And you find this question in number 4. That means question number 4 is information transfer. At first, I want to define what is information transfer. After that, I want to say what is summary also. From an unseen passage, information transfer and summary you have to answer. At first, I want to describe what is information transfer. Actually, from an unseen passage, that means you have to read the unseen passage at first. And you have to provide the suitable answer or to fill up the gaps or provided gaps which you will find in the question paper. That means in information transfer you will find a box, and in that box you will find 5 fill in the gaps. That means 5 gaps, and just you have to fill these gaps using suitable words, and you will collect these information or suitable words from the passage. And that is why you have to read very carefully this unseen passage. Otherwise, you won't be able to answer this information transfer properly. Actually, information transfer is a very easy task. But if you don't understand how can we provide the information carefully, then you will face some problems. Okay. And number 2, that means you will find summarization in question number 5. That means question 5 is for summarization or summary. And today I'll discuss these two topics and I'll try my level best. How can we write a good summary, or how can you show your capability and competency, because it expresses the inner capacity of a student. That is why you have to write a good summary to highlight yourself as a good student and you have quality. That is why at first I'll discuss information transfer. Okay, now I'm going to how can we fill in the gaps and how can we perform a good performance in this topic, that means information transfer. Okay, can you see me properly and can you hear me properly? Please comment. Actually, I need to provide a definition what is information transfer and how can we fill the gaps of information transfer. That is why today I'll also go to exercise and I'll prove we can easily get 5 marks from information transfer. Just follow me and keep your eyes on Mymensingh Online School. Okay, now information transfer. Information transfer is that things or that question which you will find in question number 4. And here you will find a blanks, a box. At first you will find a box. You will find a box, and in that box you will find some clue like who, activity, who at first, and that time you may find activity, and after that you may find year, and after that you may find contribution. That means you may find, except this for many words, except these words also, you may here find all types of WH word. That means who, why, when, where, and how, etc. Here you find activity or action. Here you find years and different years. That means time. Very key point it is. You must find years in information transfer, and after that you may find contribution, and what he did the best for the society or for the country and for his sector. Okay, that means you will find some clues, who, activity, years, and contribution, etc. And after that you will find also gaps. Suppose here you may find a gaps. Here invented. Here you may find an invented, a word invented. In 1876, suppose it is an year, it is a time. It is in 1876. Contribution here, phonogram. Suppose here you may find that this is a gap and number 1 gap. That is why you have to provide information in that gap. That means you have to provide accurate answer. Who invented phonograph in 1876? And you will find this answer from a passage. I think you have understood what I am saying or what I say or what I said. Okay, now here you may find also another clue, that is suppose he. Activity means Suppose invented. Suppose in 1876, here you may find a gap. That means a person invented in 1876. What he invented, what did he invent in 1876? That means who is the person and what he invented. I will find this information from a passage, and from a passage you have to collect this information accordingly and according to the question, according to the desire of the question. Okay, I think you all have understood what I am saying. Okay, now we are going to an exercise, and how can we fill information transfer properly, and that is why I have selected a passage. A passage about Thomas Alva Edison. Now I am reading aloud the passage about Thomas Alva Edison, and after that we will try how can we fill the gaps and how can we get full marks in information transfer. I have a question to you. Can you understand me? Do you understand me? Please comment through comment box. And before going to passage, I want to say another word, that is on last night I saw a session, and at that time some students asked to meet up their desiration, and they faced different type of problems in different topic, and that is why you may say or you may tell what type of topics do you or where do you face problem, and you can write this answer. You can comment through comment box, sir, I need this topic, I don't understand this topic properly, that is why please sir, please explain this topic to make me understand. Okay, now I am going to passage. What the passage tells. Now I am reading aloud the passage. Now I am read out the passage. Okay. The passage is about Thomas Alva Edison. That means Thomas Alva Edison was born in 1847 in Ohio, America. That means Thomas Alva Edison is a person who was born in 1847 in America. Okay, I think you all have understood this sentence and the meaning of this sentence. Here we find an year, that means in 1847. That means where we find an year, then we just try to underline the year to make me clear that I have understood this line. Okay. Now we are going to second line, that is as a little boy. That means as a little boy he was very inquisitive. That means curious. He wanted to know more and more. That means inquisitive. That is curious also. Okay, clear. Now we are going to the third line, that is he always wanted to know how things were done. That means he was not satisfied. He always tried to know more and more, and that is why he always wanted to know how things were done. Okay, now we are going to the next line. That means very early in life he showed, that means in the very beginning of his life, he showed that he was full of curiosity. That means inquisitive. A quality. Curiosity is a quality. Here we find a definition of curiosity or extra information of curiosity. A quality which is so important for inventors. That means curiosity is a quality which is very important if you want to an inventor. Do you know what is inventor? Inventor means that person who invent or who make a things for the first time. Here, as I'm talking about inventors, that is why I want to say another word, that is discover. Discoverer means that person who made or who make things in the not in the first time, that means second or third or fourth, etc. That inventor and I think you have understood the difference between inventors and discoverers. Inventors means first time inventing or first time make, and discover means not first time, in a very short time. Then in a very short time they were very equality, which is so important for inventors. I think you all have understood. In 1860 year, just we have to underline this year. We may need such type of information when we just fill the gaps of information transfer. When he went to New York, where he worked for some times as a telephone operator. That means here he took a work, that is, as a telephone operator, he worked here. And that is why he went to New York in 1869. Okay, clear, I think my all students, in a very short time, they were his chief business. That means all these were his main business. In order to carry on means continue. In order to carry on his business, that means just to continue his business, which become his life work. That means he take it as his life work. He built a laboratory in 1876 at Menlo Park, where he had gone to live. That means just to continue his business, he built a laboratory in 1876. That means here we find also a information, a year, a time at Menlo Park, and we also find a place, Menlo Park, where he had gone to live. Okay, his first great invention was the system of telegraphy. What is telegraphy? Do you know? Telegraphy is associated with telephoning system. That means you can send message or signals through telegraphy. Okay, I think you all have understood the first part of this passage. Now we're going to the second part of this passage. That means soon afterwards he invented the phonograph. Phonograph. What is phonograph? Phonograph is also called gramophone. That means a record player. And through phonograph we can record it different type of voice. Okay, soon after, that means after some time, he invented the phonograph, the first form of instrument that we now know as the gramophone or record player. Yes, here they mentioned that gramophone or record player. That means phonogram means gramophone or record player. That means he invented phonograph. He invented phonograph. The word phonograph means something that can write or record sound. I think I already described the activity of phonograph. Okay, clear, my students? Other scientists before Edison had thought of instrument which would do so. That means before Thomas Alva Edison, many scientists tried to invent this instrument, but they did not overcome. They became failed, and afterward, but Edison was the first to make an instrument which actually worked. That means Edison is the first man. Edison is the inventor who invented such type of useful instrument. Okay, clear? Now we're going to another line. That is, he also invented the incandescent lamp. That means incandescence means emitting light. That means a light which can emit light, and it is a clear light and not like energy bulb. Just before energy bulb we use a light or lamp which is clear, and in that we find a filament, and incandescent light is that light which helps to emit lights by being burned or by being heated. That means we find a filament, and this filament become heat, and through this heating it emits light. That means incandescent lamp. A lamp in which the light is caused by a heated wire called a filament. Here the author mentioned the light emits light by heating a wire, that is called filament. I think you all have understood, my dear student. The wire is heated by an electric current. That means this wire is heated with electric current. Okay, people can now use electricity to illuminate. Illuminate means to eliminate the darkness, to enlighten, illuminate their homes. That means to remove the darkness of their home. By the time Edison died in 1931, he had about 1,000 inventors to his credit. That means he invented 1,000 of inventing things, and that these are very important for our livelihood. Now we are going to information transfer and how can we fill the gaps. Okay, my dear student, I think you all will be able to fill up this box. That means Thomas Alva Edison. Here we find some clue, that is how. Another is event or activity. Number 3 is time. Number 4 is time or what. Okay, now we find how. How means Thomas Alva Edison, as it is associated with Thomas Alva Edison. Okay, now we are going to another one, that is how means Edison, how means he, how means he. Here we find different persons or different subject. In number 2 column we find event or activity. Event or activity. Events means what was happened. Okay, my dear student, Thomas Alva Edison dash event or activity. Here we just provide the event or activity, what he did, Thomas Alva Edison did in 1847. In 1847, Thomas Alva Edison did something where there the questioner provide also place, that means Ohio, America. That means in Ohio, America, in 1847, Thomas Alva Edison, what happened at that time? Now we are going to the passage again. Here you will find that Thomas Alva Edison was born in 1847 in Ohio, America. That means in 1847 he was born. That is why here number 1 you have to write was born. Here you have to write was born. Number 2, Edison worked. Here the person is Edison. Number 2, event, activity, worked in 1869. That means in 1869 place. That means what did Edison or where did Edison work in 1869? Now we are going to passage again. In 1869, here we find the word, that is 1869. He went to New York. That means New York, where he worked for some time. That means here it is clear that in 1869, that means New York, place is New York. That is why you have to right here, New York. Edison worked in 1869 in New York. Okay, clear, my student? Now we're going to another one. That is, he built dash a laboratory. Time. That means in some time. That means now we're going to the line of laboratory, and we find that this is the word laboratory. And he built a laboratory in 1876. That is why we use here 1876. That means he built a laboratory in 1876. Clear, my student? Now we're going to another one. That is, he invented. What he invented? What did he invent? He invented many things, thousands things. That is why what can we find in the passage? Just we may find here, he invented the phonograph. That is why we may write here, he invented, not mentioned, that means time is not mentioned, he invented phonograph. Okay, clear, my student? I think you all have understood all these 4 gaps. Now we're going to the 5th line and 5th gap. That is, who died in 1931? Who died it is clear that Thomas Alva Edison died. Here we'll write he or Thomas Alva Edison or Edison. Clear, my student? I think you all have understood all these things, that is what is information transfer and how can we get easily full mark in this topic. Okay, now we should go to another topic, that is summarizing and summary. My dear student, have you any question in information transfer? If you have any question, then you just send it through comment box. Now I am going to another topic, that is summarization. That means summary. How can we write a good summary to express myself or to... That is why I will try my level best to show the path. How can you write a good summary? As today's time is up, that is why I can't continue this session. On next class, I will press here and I will teach how can you write a good summarization. Okay, my students, and as the time is going fast and time is up, as the duration is very short, that is why we have to teach one by one. That is why today I am providing information about transfer, and I think if you follow me, you will not face any problem in this topic and you will get 5 out of 5, and you will try to exercise it at your home. On next class, I will show the path how can you write a good summarization. Okay, my dear student, see or keep your eyes on Mymensingh Online School and wait for my class. Until then, goodbye.